Hello, book besties. There's a dog. Okay. Welcome back to my channel. It's been a while. I've been a little all over the place. I was traveling to California recently, and so the video making was put on hold. The editing put on hold. I have two vlogs coming out still that I need to edit. Rereading Magnolia Parks, reading vlog, spoiler free, and then reading Magnolia Parks Into the Dark, spoiler free. I'm behind. What can I say? But it's fine. We're here now. So today we're going to do a little Mod Podge, a little mix of multiple things in one video to kind of get back on track. So we're going to do my February wrap-up, my March TBR, hopefuls, quote unquote, because it is currently March 11th, so like we're already in March. So we'll see what I can accomplish. I'll let you know what books I have read so far in March. And then I also have a book haul that I bought books recently at the end of February, I believe, that I want to show you guys. And so that's why we do this video, okay? We are gonna, my reading journal is not up to date, okay? But we're gonna do that, I think, at the beginning or the end of March, beginning of April. We'll do like a combined reading journal catch-up reset of filling out for February and March because I'm a little behind, but that's fine. So we're gonna talk about first my wrap-up for February. And so my TBR was to read Magnolia Parks, Daisy Hates, Magnolia Parks, Long Way Home, Daisy Hates, The Great Undoing, Magnolia Parks, Into the Dark, Crescent City 1, Crescent City 2, Crescent City 3. Ambitious, I know. Out of those 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 books, I read 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 off my TBR. 5 books off my TBR, but I think I read 7 books in total. So we're going to go through the books that I read in February. Some of these will be rapid fire because I feel like I talk about them a lot, and I feel like I have reading vlogs on some of these books, most of the books that I read, and they're very popular, so I'm not going to get too far into it. But the first book I reread was Magnolia Parks by Jessa Hastings, which is the first book in the Magnolia Parks universe, following Magnolia and BJ and their relationship, their friend group, their elite society status, things going on in their life, character study just about these two couples and their friend groups and what they're going through and growing and trying to be together when so many things go wrong in the relationship. So this is a reread. Love this book, love this series, 5 stars. I did also reread these books in the new shoe collection covers, and I listened to them on audio because I was trying to read them all in a week. There's a reading vlog coming out, okay? But I listened to these on audio, which was actually a great time. So 10 out of 10 recommend. And these got me back into reading audiobooks, but not back into. I've never listened to audiobooks really until I did it for the Akatar series, and then I did it for this series, and now I'm like we love audiobooks. So I read Magnolia Parks. Then I read Daisy Hates, and again, this book is in the same world, but it follows Daisy, Christian, and Julian. Daisy and Christian are in a wannabe relationship. They are the couple in this book, and then Julian is Daisy's brother. This series is so fun. It follows, again, a character study of their lives, of their situation. Julian is part of like this kind of collectors group, okay, where they kind of, do heists, kind of, finesse little art pieces, stuff like that. This was really fun and interesting. I will say that I loved Daisy and Christian when I first read the series, but I feel like the first time I read the series, I was like Magnolia BJ obsessed. And so this reread, I have a newfound love and appreciation for Daisy and Christian, and I've always loved Julian. I love Julian. But yes, this book is the same place as Magnolia Parks, but it follows Daisy, Christian, and Julian in the same timeline and what they're going through in their relationship. And again, don't want to talk too much about it because this series, there's just so many things that you don't even expect that come out of it, or things and plot twists that occur. So it's just so much more fun kind of just going into it blind, honestly, and figuring things out as you go. But yes, 5 stars. Then Magnolia Parks, A Long Way Home, which is the second Magnolia and BJ book. Pain at the end. Pain. After reading this, I was so excited to see what Into the Dark involves because the ending of this book leaves you just don't know what's happening, okay? Again, just can't talk too much about the series, but it's about Magnolia and BJ. They're trying to they want to be together. They're like written in the stars, they say, but so many things bring them apart. Miscommunication, drama. But I eat it up. I eat up every second of it. Just this writing is absolutely beautiful. And so, 5 stars. And I did definitely put this in the wrong order. Okay, so this is Daisy Hates, the first Daisy Hates book. This, is what is at the end, Daisy Hates, The Great Undoing, which is previously the last book that was out in the Magnolia Parks universe, following Daisy and Christian and Julian again. Oh, I love Julian. I love Juliet, and the ending in this book makes me so excited for the next Daisy Hates book because what is happening? what is going on. I need more details, more information, and heartbreaking, you know, beautiful, so sweet, anger-inducing, all the emotions. 5 stars. All the books in the series. I'm so sorry. I love the vibes, and that's all I need. Next, now getting into officially no longer rereading books, I read Magnolia Parks Into the Dark by Jessa Hastings, the last book following Magnolia and BJ, and this book is infinity stars. I adored this book so much. I was crying, laughing, giggling, angry, heartbroken, just all the emotions possible in this book. But I was very happy with this book, and the way it concluded was very fulfilling. It gave me peace and comfort, even though it's devastating and heartbreaking what goes on in this book. I do have a reading vlog coming out of this book, spoiler free, coming soon to a theater near you, okay? But I just love this book. I love this world. I'm so sad that we're no longer with Magnolia and BJ because I love them, but I am happy with how the story ended and how they, not maybe resolved, but how they grew and how they had to come to terms with things they were going through and the way they did things properly to overcome pain and trauma they were experiencing, okay? This book, though, did give us little crumbs, little sand grains of information about Daisy Hates and Christian and Julian. And it's amazing. I can't wait for the next book. Jessa does so well because every book follows like another couple and going back and forth. She does so well at tying in little bits of information about the other books in the book to make you look forward to the next book. And so I just can't wait for Daisy Hates next book. But again, Infinity Stars, I love this book. I love the series. These characters have my entire heart. 6-star reads, 6-star series. Adore this. What more can I say? So that was the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 books that I read that were on my TBR. Next, I read 2 other books that were not on my TBR. Okay, 7 books in February. The next book I read was, I was starting to get into my Abby Jimenez books because I've heard a lot of good things about her books. My mom loves her books, never read them, and so I decided to give them a try. Okay, now these books I listened to all on audiobook, but I do own them physically, so I was, you know, getting books off my TBR, but it was great. I love that for me. So I read The Friend Zone by Abby Jimenez, and I read Happy Ever After Playlist. Okay, I gave The Friend Zone 3 stars and the Happy Ever After Playlist 3.5. Now for me, those are good ratings. For me, okay. 3 stars are books that I really enjoyed. I had a great time reading it. I would recommend it to other people. I had a lot of fun, but they're just not like my all-consuming thoughts. You know, I'm not gonna get anything tattooed from these books on my body. But I really enjoyed them and I had a great time reading them. They're just not like, you know, books I think about constantly that I'm like talking about them to people randomly when they didn't ask me for information about these books. So this book is The Friend Zone. It follows, see, I already forgot. That's how you know it's like not, like it was so fun when I was listening to it because I listened to both these books like when I was working and like driving for work, traveling, had my little headphones in listening to it, okay? But I kind of forgot what happened in these books. So this follows Kristen and Josh, our main female, main male characters in this book. Essentially, it is we have a female main character. Well, it tells you in the back that she has some medical issues or medical procedures going on, so where she can have kids, okay? And she is currently in the process of planning and preparing for her best friend's wedding, and she meets the best man, Josh, who is the love interest. And then things happen where they force proximity, and then they start forming a relationship, a friendship, and then things go from there. I very much did enjoy this book. I had a really good time. I did giggle, laugh, cry a little bit. Cried a lot actually at the end of the book. Yeah. But I really enjoyed this book. I like how she has some more meaningful conversations and topics in this book, but still keeps it lighthearted and fun. I also think that her men are very sweet. Like, I feel like the men in her books so far are like, once they like the girl and they're like all in, they're all in. There's no pulling them out. They're there for the ride, okay? And I do love that. There's not a lot of like, he's like, I like her, but like, and then like goes and does something he shouldn't do. It's a very much like, oh, I like her, I'm here sticking around. And it's a lot of acts of service in her men that I really like, doing little things that they remember from talking with them. That's really just so sweet. But yes, I think there were some parts about this book that I didn't really love, or some like moments they talked about that I was just kind of like, is that really necessary? So that's why it wasn't like an all-time favorite, but I really enjoyed it. And then this one, these are interconnected series, okay? Interconnected standalone. So this one follows Kristen's best friend Sloane and her relationship with a musician. So it's like a musician artist, because she's an artist and then he's a musician. She's going through a hard time, she's going through grief, and it's about her finding her way again, and she meets this guy. There was one middle part that was like a miscommunication trope, and I was at first I was like, this is not fun. But then I thought, oh, they're gonna resolve, and then no, it happened again. So that was a little frustrating. I gave it to 3.5 stars. I really did enjoy this book. I like the characters. Again, the men in these books are really sweet. They really do this acts of service, things they know the girl would love, and like take things they've talked about and like kind of find ways to like provide that for the girl, or like give her a gift in relation to things they've talked about, if that makes sense. So I really did enjoy these books. I highly recommend. 3.5 stars, really much enjoyed. But again, not an all-time favorite. They're not blowing my mind, and they're not like in my brain, sitting there living in there rent free. You know what I mean? But yes. So those are all the books that okay. These are all the books that I read in February. Okay, now we're gonna do a book haul because it's gonna kind of be a part of my TBR. So I went to Books A Million and I bought books. So that's what we're gonna talk about right now real quick. Okay, so one of the books I bought is When the Moon Hatched by Sarah A. Parker. I don't know much about this book. All I know is that it's a fast-paced fantasy romance for fans of witty banter and strong, sassy protagonists, and that is enough for me. So I bought it. I've been seeing it, and I feel like I need to get back in my fantasy romance era. I've always been in it, but I need more fantasy. I miss my fantasy. I love war politics and all that stuff. So I'm very excited. And the artwork in this is actually stunning. I don't know if you can even see it, but it's just beautiful. Like the chapter headings are just really pretty, and I'm really excited to get into this book. Next, I bought my first book by this author, but it's a new release and everyone's talking about it, so I bought it, and that is Bride by Ali Hazelwood. I've never read an Ali Hazelwood book, and I do want to give it a try, but this one's been going all over the place with its hype, and so I decided to get it. It's a paranormal romance with a vampire and a werewolf. That's all I know. I'm excited. Bride. Very exciting. The next book I got because of a TikToker that I love to watch. She loves this series, so I was like, why not give it a try? I haven't read a young adult, like, fantasy magical book in a while, so I thought it'd be fun to do as like a mindless book, but also still like fantasy and like intrigue and all that stuff. And that is Legendborn by Tracy Dion. Again, I don't know anything about it. It says some legacies are meant to be broken. I know it's a series, maybe a trilogy, following our main character, and there's something to do with magic and legacies. I don't know much, honestly, and I don't really want to know much. I just want to go into books and find things out as I go. So I'm so sorry this is a very, like, informative, but it was enough for me to buy it, so. Okay, the next 3 books I bought, I wanted to do a reading vlog, reading sad books for like a week or a weekend. So I saw these books, heard they were really sad, or people were crying at the end of them, so I got them. This book, the second one just came out, and so I was like, perfect, why not read it? And that is If He Had Been With Me and If Only I Had Told Her. Know nothing about this other than people sob. So I bought it. And the last but not least is a book I've been thinking about buying for a while. Again, I saw another person that I really like to follow. She was crying at the end of it, and so I was like, sad books? Put me on. And another YouTuber also recently read this book and enjoyed it, and that is The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue, not V.E. Schwab. The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue by V.E. Schwab. My first V.E. Schwab book. I do want to read her other books, but this one seems interesting. I don't know much, but people have been talking about it a lot recently, and so I want to give it a try. I believe it's about our main character. No one can remember who she is after they've met her, and then she leaves. They forget who she is, but someone says, I remember you. That's all I know. But I'm very excited. It's set in France in 1714. The cover is really pretty, and it's a paperback, and it's floppy, and I love it. So that's what I got. So those are the books that I recently purchased. Let me know if you've read any of these, if any of these books are on your radar, if you think I would like them. If you like them, let me know what books you liked, what books you want to read. If you didn't like a book, let me know. Tell me other things, but these are my recent books that I bought. And now on to my March TBR. And by TBR, I mean potential ideas of books I'm going to read in March, but maybe not, if we're being honest, okay? So far, I started and finished, well, I started this book a while ago, but I never finished it. So I recently finished Ruthless Vows. I read it on my Kindle, which is the second book from Divine Rivals. It's a duology, so the last and second book in this duology, gosh. I read that recently on my Kindle. if you want to know my thoughts on it, stay tuned for my March wrap up because I have thoughts. So yes, I read that one. And then I actually just started on Saturday and finished it on Sunday, Life's Too Short by Abby Jimenez, which is the third and final book, I think, in this interrelated series by this author. I think she's another series, but that's a separate interrelated series, if that makes sense. So I read this one. I went to see my family this weekend, and so I read this, or audiobooked it, listened to it on my drive to and from there. Okay, I am going to... My boyfriend's spying on me from the camera.
I'm self-conscious.
I really did enjoy this book, so I really do want to continue Abby Jimenez on audiobook throughout randomly. That's what I've been doing. So those are the 2 books I've read so far in March. Now I'm currently reading When the Moon Hatched by Sarah A. Parker on my Kindle because on Kindle Unlimited. So I am currently reading that. I am enjoying it so far. I will say that there's a lot of new terminology, and they have a glossary for like terms, a glossary for people, and a glossary for creatures. So there's a lot going on. I'm hoping that just as you continue reading it, it just kind of all clicks together and comes into place. So I'm just kind of reading it for the vibes. I am enjoying it so far. Not much has happened. I'm only 9% of the way through. It's pretty intense so far for the beginning of the book. Like, something's happening right now and I'm like, oh, whoa. But I'm excited so far because our main female main character seems, you know, like she can hold her own, she can fight, and she can do her own things, which I love that. I love a good, strong female main character. And we met a mystery man. So I'm like, who are you? But yes. So I'm reading this so far and I'm enjoying it. Hopefully I can finish it this month. It is a chunky kind of book. 690 pages, but we'll see. It's on my Kindle, so I'm hoping I can get through it this month. The next book I want to read. Okay, we're just going to do a little bit of a rapid fire of random books. Will I get to them? Probably not. I wanted to do a reading series, or reading vlog series, reading books I'm in the middle of, or a series I'm in the middle of. So that would include reading Two Twisted Crowns by Rachel Gillig, which is the second and last book in this duology. The first book being One Dark Window, the Shepherd King duology. I have not read this. I did start like 15 pages in. Never finished it. So I do want to really read this. I've heard people say this when they liked more than the first book, and I really enjoyed the first book. So I'd like to read this book at some point and do a reading vlog finishing books in the middle of. But again, these are just ideas we're throwing out there, okay? And then also we have Iron Flame. Iron Flame by Rebecca Yarros. The second book after Fourth Ring, which I really loved that book. I have this book. I bought it on release day and I haven't read it yet. I do have it on my Kindle though, so maybe doing a reading vlog trying to get through both of these books. I feel like my reasoning for this one is that there's been some mixed reviews about the length and the content of the book, and so I'm a little scared, but I really want to get through it and read it. So hopefully maybe this month. Maybe. I also still want to read Crescent City for the new release that just came out. So I would like to read Crescent City. I got it on my Kindle. Because I feel like I read faster on my Kindle. So I got a lot of these on my Kindle to help with hopefully reading it faster. So Crescent City, a reread I would like to read. Hopefully maybe this month. Okay. And then again, for a reading vlog, if I have time, I am going away at the end of the month. So I'm being a bit ambitious because I also just went away. I went to California, then I just went to visit my family this past weekend. And at the end of the month, I'm going away to Tampa. So I'm being a little delusional. But if I want to do my reading sad books for a week or whatever, I would want to read If He Had Been With Me, If Only I Had Told Her, and The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue for that reading vlog. I'm hoping that I can read this book, like these each in a day, hopefully, maybe this one in 2 days. That's my goal if I do the reading vlog. So potentials, okay? I'm a mess. Don't mind me. Don't mind me. And the last book I would potentially read would be Bride by Ali Hazelwood. I feel this is a quick, short read that I could fly through one day. And it's getting a lot of hype, and I'm interested for a nice little fantasy, paranormal romance. Not fantasy, paranormal romance. So this could also be a quick, nice, fun read this month. So those are my ideas. Those are my thoughts. Nothing's really set in stone because it's already late in the game, and it's a bit of a chaotic month for travel. So hopefully we can get back on track in April. But those are what I'm hoping to read. Those are the books that I did read in March. Nope, not March. Those are the books I read in February, my book haul, and my potential hopefuls for March. I've already read 2 books, Ruthless Vows and Life's Too Short, and I'm currently reading When the Moon Hatched. So we'll see what I get to next, okay? I'll do some more reading vlogs so you guys can see those things as we go on. So that's basically it. Those are all the books. I hope you guys enjoyed this chaotic catch-up video, okay, of my February TBR, my March. No, I can't speak. February wrap-up March, TBR, and book haul. Again, if you've read any of these books, let me know your thoughts. Any books you're interested in reading, any books that you think I should read, any reading vlog ideas that you have, just let me know your thoughts and what you're reading currently, what you're in the middle of, what's on your TBR for this month, and I'll see you guys in my next video. I hate putting books away.